In this lesson, we'll discuss the uses for the MIA Material X. So the MIA Material X is really just a variation of the MIA material. This is a version that was introduced in Maya 2008, and really as far as the overall functionality between the Material X and the original material, there really is very little difference. There are just a few minor changes to be made to the MIA X, however. One of the changes is that this particular material has the ability to output multiple passes. So we can actually use a secondary buffer to actually write out separate images for the material's diffuse color. We can have a separate image for the reflection color, refraction, and so on and so forth, as opposed to just one main color pass. Now, if you're using this with Maya 2008 or anything earlier, the actual pass or the ability to write these buffers out is not included with the earlier versions of Maya. You would need to use some kind of a third-party plugin to actually write these buffers out. However, if you are using Maya 2009, you could take advantage of the color write buffers. So these are found under miscellaneous, and we could use the write to color buffer to write this information out. And we'll actually, in the lesson dealing with the write to color buffer, we'll take a look at exactly how we can utilize that as a way of writing out this various data that we can extract from this particular shader. So really the only other difference between the MIA X and the original material is the ability to really connect bump maps in a very different way. For comparison, if we were to take a look at the original MIA material, and if we were to scroll down and take a look at bump, you'll see that there is really very few attributes available for the bump. Now this can accept bump information in the exact same way as any of the other base shaders. So if you want to exactly see how that works, you can refer to our lessons on dealing with the bump map or the bump map 2. Now the Material X actually works in a very different way. We can actually utilize any of the existing Maya nodes or any other file texture, and we can connect these into the MIA Material X exactly as we would any other Maya material. So to illustrate this, we could just take something like a cloth material. There we go. And if we take the MIA X, scroll down, and if we take a look inside the bump pull-down menu, you can see that we do have two different controls, one for overall bump and one for standard. So we can actually plug this into either one. So we can just middle click, drag it into the overall bump, and you can see how this is applied exactly as any other Maya node. So the ability to use bump maps with the MIA Material X is much, much easier than the kind of control that we had before. So again, if you want to see how we can use the MIA X material as a way to output multiple passes, you can refer to our lesson on using the write to color buffer, and we'll talk about that.